Hi everyone! Welcome sa channel natin. Ako nga pala si Janus na Pinoy Techdad. Today, pag-uusapan natin 6 na karagdagang kaalaman tungkol sa smartphones this 2022 papuntang 2023. So kung matagal na kayo nanonood dito sa channel natin, alam nyong marami na rin akong phones na na-review. Siguro aabot na ng 100 plus phones. And lalo-lalo na this 2022, medyo marami talaga tayong na-test na phones from flagship to mid-range to entry-level phones. So, samot-sari po talaga yung na-test natin. So, dahil nasa unique ako na situation na marami akong natetest na phones, minabuti ko na rin ibahagi sa inyo yung karagdagang kaalaman na to dahil mayroon na akong mga binahagi pa before, pero gusto nating dagdagan pa yan para mas marami ang ma-inform tungkol sa smartphones. Na bago natin simulan yung video, inaanyayahan ko po kayo mag-follow sa Facebook page natin na Pinoy Techdad as well as sa Facebook group natin. It's a growing tech community, Tech Tambayan by Pinoy Techdad, na napakaraming helpful people para sa mga techies as well as sa non-techies. So, join na. So, ito na. Simulan na natin sa unang impormasyon na gusto ko ibahagi sa inyo. Number 1, MediaTek is back. So, ano pong ibig sabihin nito? Napakarami ko pa kasing nakikita sa mga comment section na once binahagi ko na yung specs ng phone and sinabi ko na MediaTek yung chipset, or kahit sa Facebook page pag may nagtanong kung ano yung chipset and then sinabi ko na MediaTek, aba, nata-turn off agad. Sasabihin na, ay, ayaw ko na lang pala nito kasi naka-MediaTek chipset. Number 1, madali daw uminit, hindi daw maganda yung performance dahil mas maganda daw yung Snapdragon. Well, eto na po yung update. So, enter the MediaTek Dimensity series. So, simula nung na-introduce yung Dimensity series ng MediaTek, dito talaga nag-start na bumalik yung tiwala ng tech community sa MediaTek na brand. So, nandyan yung mga popular chipsets like the Dimensity 920 as well as the new or updated version nito, the Dimensity 1080, na I'm sure maraming phone brands ang gagamit nito in 2023. Pero, ang pinakasikat talaga is the Dimensity 8100 chipset na ginagamit sa Xiaomi 12T, OnePlus Ace, realme GT Neo 3, at ang isa sa pinakasikat, ang Poco X4 GT. So, the Dimensity 8100 chipset ng MediaTek gives us a really good performing chipset na flagship level as well as maganda yung thermals and very consistent yung performance, wala gaanong throttling. Pero paano naman yung Snapdragon? Well, it's still alive and kicking. Maganda pa rin naman yung performance, pero medyo nagkaroon lang ng issue with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, yung non-plus version, dahil ito yung manufactured by Samsung. So medyo may heating issue tayo and thermal throttling issue with the 8 Gen 1. Pero buti na lang nasolusyonan ng Qualcomm with the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 na manufactured by TSMC. And napakaganda ng performance. Parang comeback is real this 2022. So kumbaga na-redeem nila yung sarili nila and nawala na yung thermal issues na meron sa Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. And sa mid-range segment naman, nandiyan yung Snapdragon 778G. Still a very solid chipset para sa mga mid-range devices nyo. And then para sa entry level, alive and kicking pa rin yung Snapdragon 680 na pwede na yung performance kung talagang budget meal lang yung kaya mo. Pero kung meron man tayong itatanghal na chipset of the year dito sa Pinoy Techdad, it's gonna be the MediaTek Dimensity 8100. So any of its variations, okay pa rin yan. Mapa Max, Ultra, or yung regular or standard na MediaTek Dimensity 8100, it's all good in the hood. So kung maghanap ka ng bagong phone in 2023 onwards, the MediaTek Dimensity 8100 chipset is still one of the best chipsets that you can find in a phone. So kung meron kang mahanap na murang phone na naka MediaTek Dimensity 8100, malaki ang chance na maganda yung performance niyan and hindi ka mabibigo and matagal-tagal mo pang magagamit dahil nga flagship level yung Antutu benchmark niya, umaabot ng up to 850,000 Antutu benchmark points. So maasahan nyo talaga na this is gonna be a powerhouse chipset whether it's in 2023, 2024, or even in 2025. Nasusunod naman na impormasyon na dapat yung malaman in 2022 and moving forward to 2023 and hopefully magkaroon tayo ng better outlook is that meron tayong huge price increase sa mga phones na usually competitive yung mga presyo. So what do I mean by that? So mukhang tinamaan tayo ng inflation rates as well as na increase ng cost ng materials, and kapansin-pansin yan lalo na with the brands like Realme and Xiaomi. So very specifically, pwede natin tingnan yung Redmi Note 11 Pro kung saan umabot ito ng 15,000 pesos or more. And kung ikukumpara natin yung Redmi Note 10 Pro and the Redmi Note 11 Pro, mas maganda o yung overall package ng Redmi Note 10 Pro. Yung chipset ng Redmi Note 10 Pro doesn't have the hardware limitations ng Redmi Note 11 Pro, and maganda yung camera niya, maganda yung 4K video niya versus the Redmi Note 11 Pro na at 15,000 pesos, wala kang 4K 30 frames per second or 1080p 60 frames per second. Nakakalungkot and nakakadismaya. At kung kukunin mo naman is the better version, which is the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus, medyo aabutin ka na ng 20,000 peso price range, which is not what we would expect from the Redmi Note series. So, medyo nakakadismaya yung price increase. And speaking of price increase, isa pa sa mga nakita natin na napakalaki ng jump pagdating sa presyo ay yung Xiaomi T series. So, nasa 37,000 pesos yung Xiaomi 12T Pro, pero yung 11T Pro from last year or 2021, nasa below 30,000 peso price range. I think nasa 27,000. Pero tulad ng sinabi ko, hindi lang po si Xiaomi yung nag-price increase, pati na rin si Realme. So yung Realme 9 Pro Plus, lampas 20,000 pesos po yung presyo niya. Yung mga nasa Pro series sana nila is nasa below 20,000 peso price range. So this one, yung Pro Plus, umabot ng 23,000 pesos yung SRP. The good news is, hindi naman po lahat ng phone brands nag-price increase. Tulad nila ng Google Pixel series, same price pa rin yung introductory price nila from 2021 to 2022. And then sa Apple naman, yung iPhone nila from the 13 series and the 14 series is same lang yung SRP ng introductory prices. Pero syempre, I'm talking about the SRP prices ha. Dahil pag dinala mo na sa Pilipinas, di hamak mas mahal talaga. Now with all that said, I hope bumaba ulit sa pagiging competitive yung presyo ng Realme and Xiaomi. Dahil kung hindi, well, matitikman nila yung nandito sa number 3 na information na ibabahagi ko sa inyo, and that is the rise of Infinix. At isama na rin natin yung Tecno. So itong dalawang brands na to, talagang masasabi natin na intense yung pagpasok nila sa Philippine market dahil napaka-aggressive ng pricing nila, napakaganda ng specs na binibigay nila, at kung overall value lang talaga pag-uusapan natin, some of the best value phones ay galing sa brands ng Infinix as well as ng Tecno. Sa Infinix, grabe, siksik na siksik yung specs. Ganun rin sa Tecno. Plus, pagdating sa Tecno, talagang nilalagyan nila ng sobrang laki na battery capacity yung mga phones nila. Na para sa akin, the only thing holding back Infinix and Tecno from taking that next step is yung patuloy nila na paggamit ng MediaTek Helio G99, G96, and G95 na chipsets na para sa akin dapat nang i-phase out at palitan na ng Dimensity series in 2023. Pero speaking of 2023, abangan nyo rin pala yung full review ko nitong Infinix Zero 5G 2023 na meron ng MediaTek Dimensity 1080 chipset very soon dito sa channel natin. Number 4, pag-usapan naman natin, how much power do you really need in your phone? So, ngayong 2022, papuntang 2023, I would say na medyo nawalan ng saysay yung pagkakaroon natin ng flagship na chipset. Kung performance ang habol mo, your mid-range devices or mid-range chipsets can deliver the same or almost same performance as your flagships. Dahil yung mga applications na ginagamit natin, hindi naman talaga nila na-fully utilize yung potential ng napakalakas natin chipsets. Let's say you're playing games like Mobile Legends, Call of Duty Mobile, PUBG Mobile, or even Genshin Impact. Yung mga games na yan, kayang-kayang patakbuhin ng Snapdragon 855, Snapdragon 865, Snapdragon 870, or even the hot Snapdragon 888. Those are older chipsets na pwedeng-pwede pa rin lumaban in 2022. So ang sinasabi ko lang naman is that wala akong gaanong nakitang incentive to use a flagship chipset like a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. Pagdating sa performance, if you compare it to something like the Dimensity 8100 chipset, which cost a fraction of the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. So mas mura po talaga yung MediaTek Dimensity 8100 chipset, and ganun rin yung performance halos na makukuha mo. Like you won't really notice a real world difference. So whether you have 500,000 Antutu benchmark points or 1 million Antutu benchmark points, pero ang gagamitin mo lang naman sa phone mo is Facebook or social media and browse the internet and all that, and then some casual gaming on the side, you won't really notice a difference. So while it's nice to have a really powerful chipset na nandyan lang sa bulsa mo the whole time, kung kailangan mo man ng extra performance, you can access it anytime. The wise and value consumers really should pick the mid-range chipsets. Kasi kung performance lang ang habol nyo, those devices with a Snapdragon 778G or maybe even a Dimensity 920 can perform just like a flagship level device. Smooth na smooth pa rin naman overall yung makukuha nyong experience kung social media lang and normal phone usage ang gagamitin nyo. Where you will see the difference perhaps is sa gaming, but it is also not guaranteed na porket flagship level yung chipset mo, mas angat na from older flagships yung performance. Kasi merong games na much optimized sa older chipset and hindi pa gaanong optimized sa bagong flagship chipset. So you really have to consider that as well. Pero syempre, in-anticipate ko na may mga magtatanong talaga at sasabihin na, so bakit pa natin kailangan ng flagship? So yan po ang titingnan natin sa number 5. So madalas tinatanong sa akin to sa comment, sa PM, and even in person. Ano nga ba yung magandang camera phone pagdating sa 10,000, 15,000, or 20,000 peso price range? Alam nyo, ang sarap sana na meron akong maisagot sa inyo at different price ranges kung ano nga ba yung magandang camera phone. Pero kung gusto nyo marinig yung katotohanan, wala po talagang maganda in that sense. Yung tunay na may enjoy mo yung camera quality na masasabi mo, ay, ito na ang hinahanap kong camera quality sa isang phone. Hinanap ko na po talaga yan kasi like I said, yan yung madalas itanong sa akin. So talagang binusisi ko yung mga phones at those price ranges. Wala talaga akong mapili sa 20,000 pesos and below. But of course guys, you can still find decent camera phones at those price ranges. But what I'm saying is if you're looking for really high quality na camera phone na pwedeng gamitin for photos and vlogging, well, you might need to look somewhere else. Maybe spend a little bit more than 20,000 pesos dahil nasa flagship level or flagship killer level po yung mga camera phones na may enjoy mo talaga. Nandyan yung tulad ng Realme 9 Pro Plus na maganda yung camera quality pagdating sa photos. Although sa videos, medyo kulelat lang siya. And then nandyan yung Honor 70, nasa 28,000 pesos. Maganda yung photos, decent yung videos. Pwede mo rin i-consider yung Nothing Phone 1, decent yung photos and yung videos niya, lalo na in broad daylight. And syempre yung mga Samsung phones, very good yung cameras niyan. But if we're really talking about the best of the best pagdating sa cameras, this is where masusulit mo talaga yung budget mo for a flagship device. Ang binabayaran mo talaga sa flagship device is yung camera nila. So you have phones like the Google Pixel phones, the Samsung Galaxy S series, the iPhones, and yung mga flagship devices ng Xiaomi, Realme, or even the Vivo phones. Napakaraming choices, pati na rin pala yung Huawei. So kung gusto mo talaga ng top of the line na camera phone, Huawei Mate 50 Pro. Grabe, iba yung klase ng quality na makukuha mo doon. So I would say if you need a device na maganda yung quality pagdating sa photos, get something na nasa price range ng 20,000 to 30,000 pesos. Now if you need something that's reliable for vlogging, you have to spend 30,000 pesos or more para makuha mo yung 4K 60 frames per second and very stable, merong EIS and probably OIS as well. Yan po yung kailangan nyo tandaan. Kung camera ang habol nyo and gusto nyo maganda yung quality, guys, I'm telling you, sadly, wala pa po tayong nakikita na maganda at the 20,000 pesos and below na price range. So, pasensya na kung hindi ko nasasagot yung tanong nyo pag nagtanong na kayo ng magandang camera at this particular price range. Pero meron tayong magandang trend na aabangan next year na hopefully i-implement ng maraming brands, and that is having a Sony IMX766 na image sensor sa mid-range devices. So mauuna po dito yung Redmi Note 12 Pro series na hopefully makita natin yan na ma-implement na maayos. Although you can expect yung videos nila wala pa ring stabilization. So, you might need a gimbal pa rin. But for photos, maganda pong development yan dahil mas ma-improve na yung mga photo quality na makukuha natin with a mid-range device. Now, panghuling impormasyon na gusto kong ibahagi sa inyo, fast charging is not gonna kill your phone. So napakarami ko pong nakikita na comments na ay madaling masisira yung phone mo dahil naka-fast charging all the time. So meron na tayong 50 watts, 67 watts, 120 watts, and even 200 watts sa Redmi Note 12 Pro Explorer Edition. And magkakaroon pa tayo ng even higher na charging speed sa ibang mga phones na paparating in 2023. So whether you like it or not, fast charging is here to stay. And personally, I really like it. Dahil maraming beses na po talaga na nailigtas ako ng fast charging na yan na meron tayong biglaang lakad and hindi ko na-charge yung phone ko. So just a few minutes of fast charging, na-top up na agad niya yung battery percentage ko. Mataas na agad. And wala na akong problema. Kaya ko nang dalhin yung phone ko outdoors without having to worry na mababattery empty ako. And tulad ng sinabi ko, yung mga brands nagpo-push talaga sila ng 200 watts or more na fast charging. But you really don't have to worry dahil number one, yung fast charging na 200 watts, it only lasts for a few seconds. Yes, tama po kayo na narinig. Ilang segundo lang po yung 200 watts and then bababa na po yung charging speed niya. And pangalawa, yung naka 200 watts or even 100 plus watts na charging speed, yung mga batteries ng mga phones na yan usually are split into two. So nakahati po siya into two. So let's say 200 watts yung fast charging mo, hindi po instantly 200 watts ang papasok sa dalawang batteries na yan. It's gonna get split. So ang papasok po is 100 watts sa isa and then 100 watts naman sa kabilang side. So hindi po ma-overwhelm yung battery like what you would imagine normally sa single cell na battery. And by the way guys, totoo pa rin naman na ang biggest enemy ng batteries natin is yung heat. So kung gusto nyo maiwasan na magkaroon ng heating issue yung battery nyo na napapansin nyo pag nagpa-fast charge kayo is super init na, well I would highly recommend na you only use the fast charging whenever you really need to. Pero the rest of the way, you can use a regular charger, maybe even a 33 watt na charger, and you're all good kung nasa bahay ka lang para ma-prolong mo talaga yung battery mo. Again, just in case na napapansin mo na super bilis niyang uminit pag naka-fast charging ka. So lagi nyo pong tatandaan para sa kaalaman nyo that fast charging will not kill your phone dahil marami na po tayong safety measures na ginamit ng mga brands para hindi po masira agad yung batteries natin. So there you have it guys, yun po yung 6 na karagdagang impormasyon na dapat yung malaman in 2022 papuntang 2023. So ano ba yung mga na-miss out ko or may violent reactions ba kayo sa mga sinabi ko? Let me know in the comment section. Babasahin ko po lahat ng comments nyo and I will try to reply to all of them. So hopefully nakatulong to sa pagpili nyo ng phone lalong-lalo na in 2023. Anyway, kung gusto mo pang manood ng mga videos ko, andito po yung mga phone recommendations ko for 2022 until early 2023. So hanggang sa susunod, ako nga pala ulit si Janus ng Pinoy Techdad. Kita-kita ulit tayo.